With only 279 square miles of land area, Singapore is one of the world's smallest countries, yet it is home to some of the world's best infrastructures around. It is where Changi Airport, the first airport to win the world's best airport award in 8 consecutive years, beating Hong Kong's former streak of 5 consecutive years. Singapore has done this by making sure that its major aviation hub is suited with only world-class architecture, frameworks, and people. From its jewel Changi Airport, where beautiful nature-themed infrastructures are constructed, to even having the Crowne Plaza Hotel, the world's best airport hotel. It is undoubtedly that Singapore has indeed maintained its aviation hub status as the world's best. But how did Changi Airport actually attain its grand status? Well, to know that, we must first go back to the 70s era, where Singapore was having an issue with its airports. It had a terrible problem with traffic congestions around its transportation, particularly its airports. Singapore's annual air passenger has been growing fast, from only 1.7 million passengers a year in 1970 to over 4 million by 1975. Its government had to act fast to accommodate this massive influx of passengers. Several plans circulated that time, but what stood out was an airbase that was in the eastern tip of Singapore. This was the so-called Changi Airbase. It was such a magnificent place to put the newly Changi Airport in. It could easily be expandable through land reclamation. It would reduce noise pollution as planes would fly over the sea rather than over the cities. By 1975, the government had taken 2/3 of this airbase, and the start of the greatest airport ever had started. The original master plan of Changi Airport was to construct a dual terminal and dual runway over 2 phases. This would include aircraft parking bays, air freight complexes, and other aviation facilities. What stands out during the construction is the amount of land reclamation work they had done to make this a reality. They had worked on over 52 million cubic meters of landfill and seafill. Over 40 million cubic meters of sand were used to fill up the seabed, which in total resulted in over 1,300 hectares of total usage site area for the Changi Airport to live in. The first phase of this project cost the country way over 1.3 billion Singaporean dollars, making it a magnificent endeavor for both the country and flyers who want to come to Singapore. And only a few years later, by 1981, it had already opened its doors to commercial use. This construction was rather amazing, as it had finished at light speed, despite having a lot of challenges related to worker and material shortages. In its first year of operation, Singapore's Changi Airport had already come across way over 12.1 million passengers. Its Terminal 2 followed 9 years later. It had positioned itself next to the first terminal and had been joined with the opening of Singapore's SkyTrain, where it would link both the first and the second. Despite having only a small set of land to use, Singapore had planned perfectly for any future expansion. They had seen that in the generations to come that they were going to need to keep expanding this airport of theirs. Such long-term plans have indeed benefited them from what it looks like today. By 1999, the construction of Terminal 3 had begun, and this time it would cost them a whopping 1.75 billion Singaporean dollars. And this terminal alone would increase the airport's total capacity of 22 million to over 66 million passengers annually. Terminal 3 architecture was top-notch. Leading firms around the world constructed and designed it. It had a natural and warm feel within it. Several prominent firms joined to ensure that this terminal would be world-class amongst other airports around the world. It was big enough to handle over 8 Airbus 380s. Terminal 3 would begin its operations by 2008. Throughout the next years, it would have several works done within it, from its budget terminal to upgrading its current terminals for better efficiency, and even to keep its airport's technology up to date so that it ensures that the airport is only of the best of the best. What's amazing is how in every year that they keep on trying to make this airport into a better one, not only do they construct what is to be seen by tourists, but also to the smallest details, like how they try to reduce electricity usage and by using recycled water to stay efficient. As years go by, the demand for air traffic is slowly growing, and the need for a newer terminal was becoming a necessity. The previous budget terminal that was opened had to be closed to make way for the upcoming Terminal 4. The newer terminal would cost quite less than its previous ones at only 985 million Singaporean dollars and took only 2 years to construct. This terminal, despite having a lesser cost, would end up winning several awards throughout its life. It had opened its doors for commercial use by 2017 and had better technology implemented within it. A concept of making everything fast and seamless when using the terminal, from self-service check-ins to automated bag drop and several other high-tech features. Its design internally had incorporated the use of local and heritage design. Aside from the current terminals that are in use today, any future ones are still yet to come. The fifth terminal would rather come at a later date, around the 2030s, and would cost a whopping 10 billion Singaporean dollars. A massive mega project, as it would soon become one of the largest terminals in the world. If you would like to know more about that in detail, we have a video specifically explaining what Terminal 5 is. We will leave a link below for that. Apart from its own terminal infrastructures, what really helped Changi Airport set apart from the rest of the world is its Crowne Plaza Hotel, which is renowned to be the world's best airport hotel. This significant has stunning views of Jewel, and within it, providing contemporary luxury. From the chosen business conferences to relax while waiting for your flight, Crowne Plaza has it all. Its other piece is the Jewel Changi. This is world-class on its own. It has the best entertainment facilities, hotels, and retail spaces. And as most people know, it has that nature themed within it, such as having the world's tallest indoor waterfall called the Rain Vortex. A 22,000 square feet called the Shiseido Forest Valley was the other amazing feat. It is also one of the largest indoor gardens in Asia. All in all, Changi had indeed come from a plan to redevelop an airbase to becoming the world's best. Its awards span through different categories, from its customer service to safety and security. From only a small passenger movement of 8.1 million in 1981 to over 68.3 million by 2019, it has come from just a regional airport hub to an international destination. However, yes, we all know that the recent pandemic has caused strains to every air transportation there is in the world, and that includes Changi Airport, where it experienced a drop to only 11.8 million passengers in the year 2020. From an economic perspective, air transportation has had an enormous contribution to Singapore's economy. 375,000 jobs were generated all because of its air business. $36.6 billion was added to its GDP, and because of how good air transport is in the country, it has been seen as a contributor to Singapore's export, investments, and tourist spending. Alone, the Changi Airport Group has registered over 3 billion Singaporean dollars of revenue. Approximately 50% comes from rental and concession, 40% from airport service fees, and the remaining are from other miscellaneous streams. This includes its other subsidiary operations. And of course, we cannot end this video if we were not to mention the flag carrier airline of Singapore, which is Singapore Airlines. Its primary hub is none other than the Changi Airport. And just like its aviation hub, it has also won several awards and was one of the world's best airlines to travel with. It has some of the best in-flight facilities, from its economy class to its suites, where you would be surrounded by luxury. Anyway, what do you think about Singapore's Changi Airport? Did you learn something new about its history today, or was there something that we missed on? Share with us your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to leave us a like and follow us for more amazing videos. Thanks for watching.